wanna man as I get rowdy. Yeah, I don't like it. Like that typical. Just feel it. Wanna man as good gonna me. No matter what, keep vibing. Like
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here taking a look at NEXZ and their track Mmchk or Mmchk, something along those lines. We have the music video pulled up, and as they release more material such as the dance practice, we will tack it on to the end of this so it can go live onto the YouTube side. I am so excited to take a look at this and what kind of sound they want to produce, as well as what kind of movement. I do believe with this one, some of the choreography credits do include Weedham Boys. We've seen them and a few others, but that's the one that we're going to kind of lock in and see what movement we have to work with, especially I would say maybe the chorus is where we'll see some of that. So I'm ready. I hope you are. Let's go. That's so dangerous. I love that. Let's go.
you know me. Wanna man as I get rowdy. Yeah, I don't like it. Like that typical. Just feel it. Wanna man as good gonna me.
Yes. He said, I'm here. That's fun.
I don't like it. Like that typical. Just feel it. When a man has big on me. No matter what you driving. Like that typical.
Yeah, I love it. Dinner and a show. Dance break, let's go! Or dance feature. Nice! I really like this. That was cute. Super cute. Okay. Yeah. I'm a fan of this. And also, as a side note, with this type of environment, I don't know why it reminds me of zombies. Not their outfits, but just like this kind of like just setting, maybe a different color palette, and I could be so off. It's been a hot minute since I've seen zombies, but I'm digging it. I really like how they use the camera to manipulate, to hit certain parts of our music so we can really appreciate the Mmchk, that reset of the phonetic, right? It's cool. This is gonna be really cool. I am always looking forward to seeing what kind of dance practice we're gonna have because of those types of manipulations on cinema. Those will not be there on a fixed cam because you get to see the transitions, you get to see the real time of things. So I think it's going to be really intriguing to see how we transition it all. But I think this was really well done with everybody involved. Yeah, we're here for it. I like the different color palettes and their energy. I also find to be really fun. And whatever genre this is, this has a similar sound, at least in the that like monotonous, chill, runway vibe, right? It reminds me, this would be in the same family tree as Trophy by Major 82. So I like both of this and that. So I don't know what genre that is, but I'm here for it. Oh. Here's the dance practice. Switch ups, nice. Oh, yeah! Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to talk about this. Fantastic airtime. Range is looking nice. They're meeting the standard that they set for themselves of being a clean group and full out, the counter directions. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. They're doing fantastic on the dynamics. Not typical. Ooh. Yes! Yes! Wow! What a great day we're having. Woo! Yeah, heavy breathing party of us. Goodness gracious, the mo changes, the different techniques that they chose to put in this dance made my heart soar. Okay, here we go. Let's chat about it. Oh, I love that first pre-chorus. We have a drop down, first feature reveal. I love that everyone was seen there in the intro. Really nice. He says hello, goodbye. We're gonna bow because you're gonna be here till the end anyway, but we're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves. It's the gentlemanly thing to do, right? That was fun. So they toss it, they reset it, they accent with our music at I like that we have our first feature. He's facing us, giving eye contact. Really easy way for us to clock a feature is who is actually paying attention to us as a viewer. Everybody else is looking away. It's not that they hate us. It's because by them looking at us, it is a subconscious, thing that makes us want to pull our attention to someone else who is looking, right? Because that's natural. Now they're all looking, right? So now it went from a singular feature to more of a collective where he's contributing to the overall environment, right? It's nice. So they pull, we have this reset there. So he ends up setting the arm. It goes out in, matches the heads that we see from everybody. Then we see more levels integrate outward. I like the different directions. It creates depth. It also low-key looks like if you're in a therapy office and they show you a picture and they're like, what does this look like to you? This would show up, right? So I like the fist on that. He's showing off his hard work. I'm seeing the lines, dude. I see it. Come on. They rotate. I love the switch off on features. The pulls are nice and the repeat of our torso and our legs where we're weight shifting. And I like the swivel effect going on in the torso. And I like that we have different arms. So it builds and it contributes to this repeat rhythm that we're hearing. So we end up bringing it in. We go ticka ticka ta. I like the hop back. That is filthy. I love how he naturally just, it's not natural, it's just, I'm saying that whenever he places it down, the gesture is very pedestrian and organic, which is really nice, and it makes your feature look like he does this in his sleep, which really helps sell a concept like this. It's really nice. So they end up rotating it down, drop the level. Hot berets to syncopate on these syllables. Come on. And then we send it out. I like the presentation of that. Now this, we're going to clock this as a fingerprint. We see this pretty often. We saw it twice now. I think we see it again near the dance break. I love these overheads, and we go pop, pop, pop. We're popping off, right? It's really nice. I like how we went from units where we have our overheads here. We're not crunching to where we're having a limited flexibility integrated in the shoulders. You want to have your back flexible enough to be able to do these types of overheads. It's nice. And we end up knocking with the leg. It's nice. We open it up. Good placement with your next feature. I like how we pop off, like, what is it? Where you have your first feature, use a level to showcase them. The second time, you just have your feature who deviates in movement, even though dynamically they're all on the same page. Yeah, you can tell I like it, right? So much to talk about. So we drop it down. You better shoot it, and we toss it, and we toss it. So we go boom, doom. So the staging's really nice where you normally would have your course done in center, but it's not in the center. They have it over on stage right, which I find so interesting. It's really interesting. That's why I was surprised, low-key, that the course had started, because they're not centered. And I think that's a composition choice. So they bring it in, I like the toss back, they rotate it, they rock it, and I love with the toes popping off on that. And then all of this here, I really like that we drop our level. Adds a little bit of a soulful twang to it in terms of how we're using a groove. Where does the groove originate? It's going to come from you as a person, so it's your soul as an individual. And that shows up about right here, where your heart is, right? And also your shoulders to your core and your hips to support that, which is why when you see idols or you see dancers use the torso in our extremities and not just isolating a movement to our arms and our legs, it looks more organic because it looks more natural because you're involving the full body. See? So that is also a really nice indicator if you've ever been curious of what to look for when you look for a street dance-based movement composition, which they absolutely have here. Look for what's going on in the torso. And it tells you a lot of information. It's really cool. So like that right there, this pull is really nice. The toss away, I love the counter directions from your feature to everybody else. Well, actually, he was your feature, wasn't he? So I think that's interesting. Oh no, he was, okay, they passed it off. See, that just shows you how quick that was. Well done to the choreographers for the fact that I was noticing who I needed to notice when I needed to notice them. That's really nice. So they toss it because they're not giving us anything outside of the dance. Kickball change, there's no dancers with costume difference. I like the bow there, just like what we saw earlier. And then we double time it out. You have the Mmchk, letting the torso move. That range on that height, my goodness. Watch. Boom. Come on. They're going to touch the freaking ceiling at this rate. I will say, though, when they're 30, they'll be like, we're not going that high. And you know what? They don't have to, right? I remember the conversation Stray Kids had with them. I like this double. It's really fun. It has a little social dance side to it, doesn't it? They'll hop on that. We do this repeat fingerprint. Not typical. I like the ISO here with the shirt. It's nice. With the gestures. We press it out. Great way to add on. And you have the different directions happening. You have your feature be isolated, even though there's multiple members who are contributing directionally to the look. It's because he's about to go do a unit of 3. But I love that you have the opposition where people leaning back versus leaning forward, so we can see there's a contrast of direction. God, it's so cool. Yeah. And then we end up just making a little sticky in that transition is nice. Oh, we end up having 4. So sorry. Didn't clock him. So I like the rock on this. It's pretty rigid with the knock on the elbow is cool. We transfer the arms. We double hit it. All that is really great. I like the rotation on it. And I like this. It gives like we're cocking a gun, right? So I like that we have that kind of choice on that. It's nice. So we send it away. I love that we have, once again, opposition. It shows who your feature is. And we're not showing a feature just in the center the whole time, which I really appreciate. Yeah, all of them been working hard. Goodness, they got lines for days on their hands. Come on, you better. Let's go. Now they're in center, right? And then we send it back. I love this. We actually, whoa, English chess. We need to talk about what's happening in the beginning of the chorus because I remember that I didn't technically talk about that yet. So we have this swipe going in, but notice that there's a bit of a, not rigidness, but there's a weightiness to it. There's tension in it. And I do believe part of it comes from the engagement of the back with these swings because you're letting your tricep get involved in the swipe. It's not isolated to the forearm and the hands, which a lot of times you see in certain ways. So where you put your power and energy can really showcase how a move is going to read in terms of power, tension, readability, and I think I already said intention. Yeah. How it reads comes from what kind of power and where you put it. That's going to be your contributing factor. So I love that we see that there. We knock it back. Using the back is going to really make this a lot easier for you. And I like this running with this bounce starting to integrate or having this push and pull of our groove and our torso to help from here to get us to go into that fingerprint, that Mmchk in the back, right? And then we toss it. I love the toss. I love the calm before the storm of it, right? The definition of speed change, really nice. So I like the kickball change. Notice that they were interacting with each other. I love that. That really ties into the social connection. Dance, I always would prefer that dance was more social. It was more interactive. And street dance, that's the charm of it, is in the inception, culturally, that's what it was. And that is, if you're an individual who wants to partake in a street culture scene, go and experience, because then you're able to make genuine connection and you're able to grow significantly more within the craft versus being isolated. So from lived experience, I can absolutely attest to that. I like the bow on that. So we double time it. There's that Mmchk. Here we go. Not typical. Airtime is before. So what we're looking for is our stamina the same here as it was before? I do think the airtime on the first one was incredible, but it could just be the surprising element of it. Now it's considered a standard because they're repeating and we see the height. We're like, okay, we've already seen that before. So we're appreciating the fact that it looks the same, right? It may not be the same in the explosiveness, but it could just be because of the lack of the surprise. Now going back, whenever you see here, the kick, you have a kickball chase, but also it's a top rock variant there. And then we end up sending it off to the side. They double it up. They go, what? And then they reverse it. I like a little shoot on that Mmchk. And then I like how you have one of your features. He stays up a little bit more compared to everybody else, so it's easier to see. It goes, not typical. And they're like, yeah, interact. And then we have opposing directions, but notice it's not all catered to diagonally, like what we saw in the second verse. We see it more as a curtain reveal, and I talked about curtain reveals from the 17 choreography compositions because they do that quite often because they have the numbers for it. But in the case here, it's whenever you have certain members that move across just like a curtain does to reveal either a feature or an individual, right? So it's cool. So he brings it up and down. Got a dance moment. We sweep it. It would be funny if he did a first take. I mean, I feel like we already did, right? I love this moment here. Notice that the torso sell this. It's not just the leg. It was the torso helping and complementing it and making it a full body experience. And they pull it back, good tension, we rotate it, we drop it down. He says serenade, everybody's speed change, different levels, so it's easy to see him there. And the ball changes are nice, and you feel the camera shake because of how they're projecting and punching with those legs into the ground to make it nice and full. That right there, that's fun. Nice vibration moment there. Well, it's not even a vibration, they're just shaking here. It's a little different than the muscle engagement you would normally see in a vibration. Stop it with it, because you have the sound change in the song. So musicality 101 would be any time that you have a part of your music that changes, whether that's the instruments or the vocals, or let's say the instruments drop out or new instruments come in, your movement should reflect that either in dynamics and texture. So how the movement feels to the eyes, right? It's things along those lines. So in the case here, when you hear this room sound, that is way more prominent and prioritized in this section. So whenever you see this kind of movement, they are forcing us as a listener and as a viewer to hear that part, which is what a dancer's job is. You're the visual representation of music. And so I love that we got to have this type of choice here to appreciate this change, right? With a vibration, oh gosh, with a pony on that, or the ball change on it, and then we send it out with a double diagonal. Yeah. And then we end up doing a little fold over. You have the ball changes on it, and then we pull, and I like the little finger wag on that. And then I like that we have this bent over rock. A lot of times you see people do an outlaw or a shmoney, but I like that we're just living our life nice and low. And then we punch it back. We do a nice switch off on our footwork, where we're going more of a heel toe on that, where I think it looks like we're going to the front and then to the back. Let's see. To the side. Oh, it's honestly, whenever you see not Latin ballroom space, but in the ballroom space, this is a very like clunky equivalence that I'm giving, so please forgive me if you're like a ballroom head and you're like, Jess, it's not even close. I'm saying in the visual aesthetic of it, give or take, the lack of uniformity or the lack of dynamic clarity, this meaning my point, is there's a stickiness to it, there's a rigidness to it, but I like the weight shift that we're seeing on it, and a lot of times you can see a degree or a variant of that in the ballroom space. That's my point. And I like the tension on the vibing, because we're vibing, and I like the stability check on that. I like the hops on that, and I like that the head's getting dragged along with it, because it gives a relaxed state of it, of I'm living so much, I'm not even having to be tense at all, because it's so natural, because we can associate this as things are stressed and tense, because if you didn't know this, whenever you're angry or you naturally have that kind of like frustration or those types of emotions on that scale, you can hold a lot of those emotions in your body. It's very fascinating. Go look this up. But for me, I do have my traps are pretty tense quite often, and I know that's because of my I have a more that's my go-to kind of feeling a lot of times, is navigating anger in the injustice realm specifically. So having tension here absolutely is normal for me, but that can equate to stiffness in my neck. So if you see somebody, back to this point, see somebody who is super loosey-goosey, then I would say a pretty safe assumption would be they're giving the impression that we're so relaxed, we're so chill, because we are subconsciously associating that anyway, or at least I am. So if you were curious about that, that could be something to look into. So they go, hey, the Scott, they bring it around, they send the arms down, and I like this little envelope of the leg, bring it in, it's cool. They pony it, it's nice. He sends them around, they turn. He's like, I don't have to turn, haha. They V-step it, we toss it down. I like the little reveal, and then also he stays low, they go high, and then it looks like we're Mmchk, where we're passing off the energy to the people behind us. That's really cool. That's cool, and then we end up going back to the every other. And then we hop in. Well, my bad. And they go out, in, out, and I like the direction looking back. Hitting it low, there's your little shmoney moment, but instead of it being over in the corner, they're facing front with it. So I like that it's a repackage, but it feels familiar, but it's still different. Nice. You have the with the pull. Not typical. I love this not typical with the wave to justify versus not typical. There. This is a fantastic dance. I am such a fan of it. They look exhausted. My mouth hurts a little bit from just going 90-0 on this. Woo! I so enjoyed it. If you like NEXZ, I have a lot of it on Patreon if you don't see it on YouTube. I don't know what's released on YouTube, which is why if you're like, Jess, have you seen this? There's a chance I may have. I've watched a lot of their stuff. I've seen all the archives, if that gives you anything. I really love their archives. And you could just go double check on Patreon, because you should be able to search there even without being a member. Yeah, but this was so fun. This is great. I really like this one. You guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.